Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad you're all here. And Carmen, I hope you can still hear us and see us. I was just saying, I'm really glad to have you here. This is the perfect group. I committed to doing this class after initially rejecting the idea. A couple of synchronicity pushed me into the right direction. And anyway, I'm happy to honor the message. We're here together, and my intention is to help you create something that will remain in the world forever, and that will express you as you are authentically and powerfully towards the people that you want to impact. That's what I struggled to do for a very, very long time due to multiple belief systems that I had, multiple reasons where I postponed my writing and I found other things to be more important than my self-expression. So if you are here, I already know you have an important message you need to give to the world, but for whatever reason, either you haven't found the time, the means, or someone to guide you so far. And that's why you are here. The first topic of the class is commitment to writing. My commitment to writing. And we're going to talk about that today. But before I even start doing that, I've sent you 4 questions to all of you before the course started. And one of the questions is, why do I want to write? I know that this sounds a little bit counterintuitive and a bit, I'm a writer, therefore I write. But I invited everyone to just reconsider why you're writing. And the reason I'm saying this is you're going to hit loads of bumps along the way. You're going to find days where, nah, I don't want to write. I have something else to do. I'd rather watch a movie. I'd rather sleep. I'd rather go, do something else other than writing. And unless you know in crystal clear shape why you're writing, you're going to hit this bump and you're going to get stuck there and your project is going to get delayed forever. Why do you want to write? That's the first question I've asked. And thank you, Amar, for your very beautiful response and for responding, and Sylvia. If you haven't already responded, I want you in the back of your mind to just ponder on these questions throughout the duration of the class today. Have it in the back of your mind, and if you haven't already written it down, try to answer it by the end of the class. Why do I want to write? Of all forms of expression, why writing? And I want to now go through each of you and give you a chance to introduce yourself, tell us what your writing project is, and what's your intention for the class, as a way to say hello and also declare our intention, which is very powerful. So for example, I'm Paula. I live in the United Kingdom. My writing project is Mundane Bliss, a collection of poetry that will be released in 2023. And my intention for this class is to bring together people who are vibrating at the same frequency of creativity, love, and sharing. So now I would like you to do the same. I see Andra at the top of my screen. I'm going to name you in the order of what I see. Andra.
Oh wow, I'm Andra. I live in Spain in the dark right now. My project, well, actually, I had some ideas last night. I want to do a combination of poetry and children book, like children's stories, to do first a poem and then to write a little bit of a story for children, with obviously with teachings and self-development kind of stuff. And I wanted to publish next year because I already have 5 children's stories and I don't know how many poems. Now I have to write some poems, some stories for the poems that I have. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, like really excited. The mind is opening, and it's the first time when I'm saying this out loud, so I kept it under wraps. I didn't even mention to
Sorry here.
anyone, but yeah,
Sorry here.
it's a dream of
Declaration.
it's a dream of mine to write children's stories. As I always gathered people around me. The way I talk, the way I speak, and the way I tell stories, people are gathering around. And when I did babysitting, I was just creating stories on the spot. So yeah, why not? To just teach
Amazing.
children. Yeah,
Love
this
it.
is what I want. To give
What then
yeah,
what is your intention for the class, Sandra, for this phase?
to
What
gain more discipline in writing. Because, for example, as you said something about busy, I had some voices messages in my head about the two poems and one stories, and I was so tired I couldn't be bothered to put them down in
yeah,
words. And then I got busy and I still didn't write them, so tonight is when I'm going to write them. So yeah, this is my intention for the class, to gain more discipline.
display. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I'm so honored to hear your intention for the very first time spoken into the world. Now, already something is happening as those words left your mouth, just to let you know, it's already on its way. And I can attest that you've been quite busy. So be kind to yourself, and discipline we all need it, but sometimes we also need rest. And as writers, taking care of ourselves, it's something we need to learn. You cannot create from a depleted state of being. Next up, I see Carmen on my screen. Carmen, you're okay to speak?
Yes,
Yes.
and sorry about the sideways. I have no idea. I went and checked on my camera and it's working fine on my laptop. I have no idea why Zoom has.
That's absolutely fine.
So I'm Carmen Flores, and the reason that I want to write is because I want to reconnect with my writing voice and myself. You know, there's a magic there, and I think when we write, we connect into that collective consciousness, and there's a peace there, and there's also I don't know, there's just a joy there for me. So that's why I want to write. As far as projects, you know, I have not, I don't really have one that's really solid in my mind. I have a couple things that I began a while back ago. So I have a couple projects. One is where it's a collection of poems about the women in my life, my daughters, my mom, and other women. And vanilla, at the time, vanilla was one of my favorite scents. And to me, there's a thread of vanilla and the flavor of vanilla and the scent of vanilla that runs through all these women. And so it's I had originally titled it "The Women in My Life: A Tale of Vanilla." So yeah, that's one of the things I'd love to finish up. I have a book. I was in the Army, and my mom has an amazing story, and so I'd like to do sort of a historical fiction of my family's history, but through the eyes of the women, and I want to call it. My mama, growing up, it was a put down to say that your mama wears combat boots. Well, I did wear combat boots, so when my girls got teased about it, they didn't really get it, and they go, yeah, she does. So anyway, the title of my book, because I felt like my mom is a warrior and her mother was a warrior, is my mama wore combat boots. Did yours? So yeah. So
I
those are
love
two
that.
things.
That's beautiful. That
Thank you.
historical fiction through the eyes of women, especially women wearing combat boots. I see that as something super special that people would absolutely want to read. And I really love the theme of vanilla. I can see that as a already poetry connection. Vanilla, just vanilla.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And lastly, Carmen, tell us your intention for the class. What is it that you want to get out of this class, or what do you want it to happen? You know,
Um, I want that writer's voice to just flow. You know, I want to, I guess it's a journey of soul retrieval. You know, I had a lot of, I think I shared a lot of shaming, and
yeah, you
I
did.
got in trouble for my writing, you know, and that piece of me, I denied it, and it just, it's like a part of my soul was shattered. So my intention is to reclaim that and reclaim my writer's voice.
Proclaim your writer's voice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shante.
Hi, my name is Shantae. I am in Maryland, USA. My vision is to have a book published around relationship, love stories, and my thoughts on love. Yeah.
Beautiful. Like short stories? Are you thinking short stories?
Short stories, possibly some poetry, but mostly musings on love, short stories, and yeah.
And your
Yeah.
intention for the class, Shante?
My intention for the class is to show up.
Beautiful.
There's something about showing up
Show
that
up.
creates accountability for me to be in a community of people who are on a similar journey, supporting each other. And, you know, something about being around, like I don't necessarily consider myself a writer per se. I know that I have stories to tell, not necessarily sure about how exactly to write them or to get them out of me. And so to be around people who are doing it and who, like, I really enjoy writing. I've always journaled. And as a matter of fact, many, many, many years ago, when 3 strangers who didn't know me told me that I should write, one of them specifically said, "I know you journal. You just seem like the type. You probably already have a couple of books in your journals." And I burned all my journals.
Oh.
That's how terrified I was. I burned them all. So being supported and coming here and being supported as well.
Oh, beautiful. Showing up and being supported. Right. Thank you so much for that. And yes, we already know that on you have many books in you and many stories that are worth sharing. And I'm so happy for you that you're here. I know what it means. You're committing. You're taking that first step to commit, and that's honorable. I have next on my screen Amar. Amar, how are you?
No, I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm from Amar, from Toronto, Canada. And my intention, I was really contemplating on this question, and I found that in that space of writing, you're one with yourself. There's no other. And in that space, you can truly be authentic and express your feelings without anything else in the way. So I think my intention is to be in that space where I can just express myself. And the intention is of this class is to find a way to structure the story or the book in itself in a proper way that's original yet still impactful. Yeah, I have my story is going to be focused on my journey, being born and brought up in Canada, and then living in Europe, and then living in India, 3 different continents, and what I've been through inside and outside, and what I'm learning, and what I have learned, and what I'm still learning. So yeah.
Oh, beautiful. I relate so much to being truly authentic and just being yourself. It's one of the reasons I started writing. I felt pulled in so many directions. You have to be so many things in life: daughter, husband, wife, mother, father, friend. And yeah, I found refuge in writing as well. And then writing rewrote me, so to speak. So I can really relate to that. It's beautiful. And I love on autobiography with international travels. That's an adventure. And there are so many ways we can structure that, but we'll talk about that soon. Keshni, beautiful Keshni.
Hi, Paula. How are you? Good
Hi.
evening.
Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Kishni Bihari. I'm from South Africa, Johannesburg. And why do I want to write? I think I've always wanted to write, but I just didn't know how to put it down, particularly writing about documenting recipes of, age-old recipes from grandparents, great-grandparents. I was fortunate enough to have experienced my great-grandmother. So, those special recipes. So it's a lot of health, Ayurvedic way of cooking and that sort of thing that it encompassed, that I want to bring forth and document in a kind of a journal book.
Wow.
Sort of thing.
I can already see the book. I can see the pictures of the food, the pictures of your great grandmothers cooking it. I can see pictures of when you grew up and little moments and recipes in between. Oh, that is so beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, well, you just, it's actually spot on, because I actually wanted to bring the childhood into the whole thing, growing up lived in Pietermaritzburg in town, then moved up to Johannesburg after marriage, and the different places, moving around and sort of bringing all that into fore. And then, to leave these recipes to my daughters, to my family, it's a legacy. It will be lost. It will be lost, because these days everyone's with fast foods and that sort of thing, and with these vegetarian stuff that's involved. So I thought I'd bring that into a journal. And the reason was lots of lack of confidence, time, rearing a family, kids, and that sort of thing. But now everyone's grown out of the home, so it's time now for me. This is for me.
This is your time.
My intention. Thank you. My intention is to express myself in the safe space. I feel I'm safe, and to gain the confidence to put it onto paper. I think I would need a collaborative writer. What's the word? Collaborator. Because I'm not sure how.
Ghostwriters or other words, but
ghostwriter.
Ghostwriter or co-writing, but I don't know. I have a feeling we may not need that, because just think of it
for the recipe.
But think of what you just told us. Think of the way you spoke to us. What if you record yourself talking? Imagine you're talking to me and you're telling me a story. And if you were to record yourself, and there's apps that write down, there's dictation apps, they write down your speech. That's all you need. You need your voice telling a story. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need a literary voice.
Fancy.
But wow, it's beautiful ideas. Amazing. One last thing I wanted to ask you, Keshni, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a doctor in your title by any chance? DR?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Tell us, please. We have a doctor. We have a couple of doctors here. I would like to know what your PhDs are in.
Okay. I'm basically into natural medicine. So I'm a natural health practitioner, actually. So it's all about encompassing life coaching, therapeutic ways of detoxification, everything natural. It's like visiting a GP, but the alternative of that, naturopathic as opposed to allopathic. And it brings in diet, weight loss management, detox programs, non-invasive clinical scanning, therapeutic reflexology, or therapeutic reflexology government accepted, nutrition, that basically. That's what
I understand. So very qualified lady as well. Not very just a recipe book, but also a health book. Beautiful.
that's what yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And then we have Sylvia now, or just I see Sylvia here on my screen.
Yeah, I'm Kashni. The book that you're going to write, one of the public that you're writing for are the people that are interested indeed in healthy food. So you will take them, in your own way through it with the stories of your ancestors and the recipes. But those recipes by itself will heal. Those are the recipes that are going to be strong, so that you're not only writing for your daughters, but you're writing for many daughters on this planet. I can feel it. Yeah, you will get it. You will get there. It's suddenly
Absolutely.
Look,
It
Paula already has called it into life by what she did. I'm just adding, and then it will become clearer and clearer for you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Thank you for that.
Great. Oh, so it's so inspiring to hear Shante, to hear Amar and Carmen, and I'm really looking forward to to be cheering each other and in this safe space indeed. So I'm Sylvia. I am from the Netherlands, but I live in Belgium, which is about 200 kilometers. It's nothing. It's but it's different countries all the same. So my project is to write a children's book. The character in the children's book is a little mammoth, Pep the mammoth, and it's a young, curious, and very friendly mammoth, and he has loads of adventures. We think he lives on the plains in Mongolia, but he could also be living actually very close to you. So we're not sure. It's the stories are mainly for children from 2 to 5, maybe 6, and any other child that loves the stories. And there is I actually understood that today when I was writing it to Paula. Most of you have been doing Be Extraordinary quest, and one of the questions there is the 3 MIQs. So the 3 most important questions. And the first thing that you do is write down all the experiences that you still want to have in this life. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to live at least another 50 years. So that's still a long time on this earth. What is it that I want to do? And I started to write. And I was rereading them. And then I understood what Pep the mammoth, because I dreamed him up, is doing, or is doing to me, if you want. He's taking me into the stories. And the stories are touching upon what the indigenous tribes are believing. And one of my questions in the experience is, how can I help? Because I would love to visit many of those tribes and learn from them. But if I learn from them, what can I do back for them? And then I said to myself, this is it. Pep is bringing me the stories of nature, there are some spiritual stories, and I'm transforming them into children's stories. So to help children dream, know that intuition is important, and connecting with nature. And of course, I hope with that, read by the parents and the teachers, that they will wake up too. So that's the project, and my intention to be here is just to be here. I don't really have, because I am I'm so in joy, and I feel so joyful when I'm making the drawings, when I write the stories. And what I do realize is that I cannot work every day on the stories. And so when I cannot, I ask myself, what is your priority? What makes it that you are not drawing or not writing? And so this question makes me very conscious of that I chose at that moment to do other things. Well, it can be a client call, it can be just, cooking for the family. And just to be very conscious about the fact what it was, what I'm giving priority to. That was very helpful. So.
Should we say then, Sylvia, that your intention is to be here as a sign of your commitment to your writing?
Yeah, definitely. I very felt what Shantae was saying. I said to myself, okay, yeah, I can.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So to go
to commit
on,
to write.
to commit, and I already today I went on Fiverr, I registered, and I am contacting people for the formatting and the layout of the book. So I'm looking for somebody.
Beautiful.
And I contacted. So
yes, that's what we want.
So, see?
And,
yeah.
and thank you so much for supporting. I know you're here to also support me because I'm just starting out. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, Vera, thank you for joining, sweetie. As you can imagine, we're introducing ourselves as three things: where you are, where you're from, what your project is if you have one, and what's your intention for this course. And then we'll start actually with the topic of the day.
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry that I'm late, and then sorry, I thought that my mic was on mute. So if you heard any
That's
background
okay.
noise earlier,
You're
that was
fine. You're perfectly fine.
I'm from Finland, and right now I'm a classroom teacher, and I'm really busy right now, and right now I'm writing poetry. So I'm writing poems, and it is something I truly enjoy. And it has brought me great joy, and it is now one of the. It's better than ice cream, really. It's something really amazing, and I'm on this journey of self-discovery and trying to find out some things, and I would like to create a book where through poems, through some kind of storytelling, I don't know yet what, it's sort of a guidebook. Yesterday I was thinking about it more, it was so clear in my mind, a guidebook through challenges. It would start with how to stop and breathe and continue from there. The three parts would be notice, accept, and focus. And first you notice what's going on, and then you accept it, and then you focus on things that make you feel better and help the situation. And that's the first thing that I need to do. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to help myself and help others, and I don't know how it's going to come up, like how we're going to bring these together, but
we will get there. The how is less
Yeah.
important. And sweetie, what's your intention for the course?
my intention is actually, Sylvia, you said it. So without this call, I would still be at my workplace. So because of this call, my alarm clock went off, and I was like, oh
Yes.
gosh, I have to go. I
Mission
have to
accomplished.
go. And this is taking time for myself, this and the poetry club. And yeah, so to exist in this, how would I say, my intention is to explore this poet side of myself, this writer side of myself.
Beautiful.
Take it more
Beautiful.
seriously.
I love it. I love that. I'm going to read back to you words, keywords that you've said. As you probably notice, I'm taking notes. And I'm going to ask you to listen back to the recording, and it's part of your homework for next week to choose the keywords that are part of the declaration. So in this 20 minutes, 25 minutes that we spent talking, we've done half of your homework for next week. I'm going to read back to you why you are here. Andra said discipline. Carmen, reconnect to my writing self, reclaim my writer's voice. Shante, to show up and be supported. Ahmad, to be truly authentic and just be with yourself. Keshni, to gain confidence and be in a safe space. Sylvia, to be here as a sign of commitment to yourself and your writing. And Vera, explore the writer and take it more seriously. So now take a minute, just sit with that. That's why you are here, okay? That is the most important part of your commitment to writing. And commitment to writing is the topic of today. Committing to writing is impossible unless we know why we write. Feel free to take notes. I will send you notes. My process is thoughts come to me, I write them down. As I write them down, I'm preparing a class, and then I will send you my notes. So you will have my notes, but do take your notes as well. What does it mean for me to write? You've answered that question. If you haven't already in your email, please do that. Take the time and sit with that question. Why do I do it? It doesn't have to be a super mystical, super spiritual reason, as long as it's crystal clear. And we have so many reasons for writing in the world. You know, people write as a means to an end. They have a business and they need to just explain the business to people. They need to write down what the business is about. Other people, like coaches, write content to just communicate with their audience, with their clients. Again, a means to an end. It's not super deep, but it's necessary. Other people want to write as expression. Vera, like you, it's my artistic expression. I write, I want my writing to be a form of art, and I just purely enjoy it. That's another good reason to write. And please know there's no reason better than other. What matters is how clear are you about why you want to write? How sure are you of why you are writing? That's the most important part here in your commitment. And then finally, some people just journal, but journaling doesn't really need an audience. It just needs you. Because we are here, we know we have a message that needs an audience, because we need the audience, but the audience needs us. It's a win-win. This is why we as human beings, we gather around fires and we tell stories. That's how we express our humanity. We connect with each other through our stories, through our words. And that's what writers are. We're storytellers and messengers. And how can you tell a story without an audience? Not really. You can't, it doesn't really work. That's why we're here. We know we're committing to send our message into the world to the audience. Now, I want to go right in and offer you something really practical. And I got inspired by Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. I don't know if you've read it. If you haven't read it, I really recommend it. It's a beautiful book. It's written so accessibly. It's as if you talk to a friend or you read their journal. And Elizabeth Gilbert, she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love. Yeah, you have it. Beautiful. Yes, Shante. So super. And She's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, and she studied writing. She was very focused on writing, but she was terrible. Let's put it this way: she was terrible at writing, in her own words, not because I read her writing, but she was terrible at it. But she just committed to writing. She had this internal calling that she just wanted to write. And there is something beautiful here, taking a vow, which I'm going to read to you. And I want us to get inspired by her ceremony, where you will be taking a vow and you will be writing a declaration by the end of the week, in your own time, regarding to your commitment to writing. So she did this ceremony. I'm going to read this to you. It's called Taking Vows. When I was about 16 years old, I took vows to become a writer. I mean, I literally took vows, the way a young woman of an entirely different nature might take vows to become a nun. Of course, I had to invent my own ceremony around these vows, because there is no official holy sacrament for a teenager who longs to become a writer. But I used my imagination and my passion, and I made it happen. I retreated to my bedroom one night and turned off all the lights. I lit a candle, got down on my honest to God knees, and swore my fidelity to writing for the rest of my natural life. My vows were strangely specific, and I would still argue pretty realistic. I didn't make a promise that I would be a successful writer, because I sensed that success was not under my control. This is really important. Success is not under our control. It's key statement. Nor did I promise that I would be a great writer, because I didn't know if I could be great. Nor did I give myself any time limits for the work. Like, if I'm not published by the time I'm 30, I'll give up on this dream and I go find another line of work. In fact, I didn't put any conditions or restrictions on my path at all. My deadline was never. Instead, I simply vowed to the universe that I would write forever, regardless of the result. Now, this is beautiful. I promised that I would try to be brave about it and grateful, and then as uncomplaining as I could possibly be. I also promised that I would never ask writing to take care of me financially, but that I would always take care of it. This is mind-blowing, right? I will not ask writing to take care of me financially, but that I would always take care of it, meaning that I would always support us both by any means necessary. Now that's a commitment. I did not ask for any external rewards for my devotion. I just wanted to spend my life as near to writing as possible, forever close to that source of all my curiosity and contentment. And so I was willing to make whatever arrangements needed to be made in order to get by. Okay, so that is what Elizabeth Gilbert did when she was a teenager, how she committed to writing. As you can imagine, in her teen years, she said, I will do whatever it takes to get by so that I support my writing. Now, that is the kind of energy you want to bring into your project. That is the kind of energy you want to live in and get accustomed with. How many of us have dreams? Oh, I want my book to make #1. I want my book to be a bestseller. I want to get a contract. I want to get published. I want to get the marketing. I want to get this. I want to get out. But what do you give to writing, right? That is the commitment. That is what you need to ponder on. And again, you see, it goes back to, why do you write? Do you write for recognition? Do you need financial gains from it? Whatever it is, just be aware of it, because if in the back of your mind you have another reason for writing, that will come back and bite you on the butt. So it really will. And I say in the introduction of the course, there is no such thing as writer's block. There isn't such thing as writer's block because you know why you write. The only thing that there is I don't know why I write. I'm not clear on that. That's why I'm not writing. Because when you know why you write, and you've committed to it, there is no way you can be blocked. There is no way you can go against yourself, right? So there is no writer's block. There's only you being unclear about why you write. Okay, that's the main takeaway from today. Now, I have practical steps for us to take into committing to our writing. So there are 4 steps. And this is a part of your homework, which I will send you for next week. Step number 1, I want you on a piece of paper or a Post-it to write down a declaration of intent. And I want you to place it somewhere around your desk or somewhere where you can see it easily daily. And this is going to be your anchor point. This is your anchor point to remind you why you are writing when you're having doubts or when you wish to postpone it. That's step number 1. So on a piece of paper or Post-it, I have these things. It's called magnetic paper. This is called magnetic paper. It sticks to anything. It sticks on the wall. You take it right back out. So they're literally Post-its, but they have a texture and a film on them that allows them to stick to anything, and you can wipe the text off. I love them. I have written my book with magnetic paper. I had the ideas, the chapters. I've stuck them on the wall. My walls were full of this, and now I've emptied it so that new stuff comes in. But I absolutely love magnetic paper, and I put it anywhere. Really, that is the best invention. So I had this, and I had questions on it, like who do I need to meet? What do I need? Who do I need to email? Who do I need to talk to? To get my book out. But for you, I want you to write a declaration of intent, meaning, kind of like Elizabeth did, like a vow, declaration of intent and a vow. I intend to write because, and I commit to. That's a declaration. Step number 2, I want you to create a small space, your sacred place, where you will write daily or at least 3 times a week. I'm asking people to try and commit as if they would go to the gym at least 3 times a week to see results. Unless you can block an entire day of your weekend, like a Saturday, which I was fortunate enough to do because my son is old enough and I don't have anyone needing my attention that much. I was able to block an entire day off and write, and I would write maybe 6 or 7 hours. Unless you can do that, you need to find 2 hours 3 times a week to write. So that's basically creating, is part of creating your sacred place. Now, when I mean a sacred place, it could be in your bedroom, it can be your favorite chair, it could be in the kitchen, or it could even be just a simple act of creating a new folder on your laptop, okay? Maybe you're on the go, maybe your lifestyle is you don't sit somewhere, maybe you travel, I don't know. It could be just create a folder on your PC to say my book title, and you put all your work there, you create the space for it to be filled. And you can do that in your phone, right? You can, if you use notes, just create a new folder and say my book, and just create that. Physically has to take a physical form. Ideally, you would find a physical space as well. Like I said, a bedroom or a desk or somewhere where you're comfortable, maybe near a window, wherever you prefer. The 3rd step is to book time in your calendar when you will write, as if you would do an appointment you cannot miss, as if you go to the dentist, as if you go to wherever, as if this appointment is in your calendar. You want to book that time with yourself, and you want to see that pop-up showing up and get yourself prepared again physically. You want to have it there in your calendar. And step number 4, and the last step, you want to tell those you are living with or those who need your time and attention that you are working on a writing project that will take at least 3 times a week of your time. I want you to start preparing them mentally and emotionally and ask for their support. Now, this is very important. I know some of us, especially if we journal, we do it in secret, we do it in our own time, many people don't even know we write. But as part of your commitment and as part of the energy of you putting this book out into the world, the people closest to you need to know for various reasons. Like number one, you're sharing that with them, so you become more accountable. And number two, they will start to support you one way or another. They'll understand that they will need to support you in doing this for yourself in the same way you support them in doing whatever they need to do for themselves, whether you drop your kids off or whether your partner has a hobby or whatever it is that your situation is. You do stuff for others, and it's in a sense of saying, this is the time I take for myself to do this project. And you may need to speak to your children or to your partners, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, and you may need to just have this conversation. So, hey, look, I've started this course and Paula said, I need to tell you, I'm going to write this book. So just so that you know, that if I disappear 2 hours a day on a Wednesday, it's because I'm writing, okay? And you also need to learn to ask for support. And this is really important to me, and I really need your help with this. This means a lot to me. So thank you for understanding and supporting me. You actually need to do this. So these are the 4 steps. So number 1, write a declaration. Number 2, create the physical space, your sacred place. Number 3, book it in the calendar. Number 4, tell everyone you're writing. Okay. I want you to complete steps 1 to 4 by next week. And I would love you to send group pictures to us, if you like, of your declaration and of your space. I want to ask you, are you okay with Telegram? Would you like me to create a Telegram group for this? Are you good with Telegram? I just don't want to, I imagine you probably many groups. So some people like Facebook. I don't know if you prefer Facebook, but since you're all on Telegram, no, you're all on Telegram already. I will create a Telegram group for us so we can share. So I want to see a picture of your declaration and a picture of your space, even a screenshot on your phone of your new folder. And there is a writing homework as well. I want you to write, kind of like we were discussing today, the core message of your project, of your book. What is the core message in no more than 1 paragraph? I want you to tell your reader what is the heart of your story in 1 paragraph. And this is important because it takes us into the next topic. And I want you to start thinking about it. Think about what you said your project was, the reasons of your writing, and then think about, if I just had 30 seconds to say this to someone, my book is about this, and this central idea and central phrase will drive not only the story, the structure of your book, but also your marketing, the way you promote the book. I would say this is the most important piece of writing you will do, and let's get it out of the way early on. So basically next week, I want us to create the core message of your book, whether that's a children's book, whether it's a poetry book, whether it's a recipe book or autobiography. It will be 1 paragraph that you'll tell everyone, my book is about this. Yeah. Don't worry if you need to change it along the way. It probably will change. I promise you, I've changed it a couple of times, but there was always 5 words that remained for me as well. In Letters of the Priestess, you can imagine it's not easy to send the message across, but what remained is who we become, who I become. There is nothing more important than who I become. That is the core message of my book. It's 1 sentence. Not what I say, not what I do, but who I become. And then the rest derive from there. And in who I become, I am both masculine and feminine in the same way that I have a mother and a father. And those both exist in me, right? So that is my core message. So my book is a safe container for people who are interested in who they are, who are interested in a kinder world, and who are interested in looking inside. So that is the core message of my book, right? So that's 5 sentences, 1 paragraph. And one of those sentences is your core message that won't change. And for me, it was, who do I become? In the same way, you will find that you'll have a number of sentences that will slightly change or gradually change, but you will find that some words will come back, and these words will not fail you. These are patterns inside you and messages inside you that will keep coming back, and those, by the end of the duration of the course, they will fixate and they will form this core message, which, like I said, it's basically your bread and butter. It's how you'll present the book, how you'll do your marketing, how you will design a book. All right, beauties, that was the lesson for today. Because it's our first lesson, and also some of us were late and it's the first time, I'm happy to stay over time, 10-15 minutes. If you have any questions about the content, and also in the structure of the course, I always want to take 10 minutes for a hot seat question. So whoever has a burning question, they can come on a hot seat and we can talk about that issue and try to work it out. So this usually would be the structure. We go into next time, because we introduce ourselves, we're not going to introduce ourselves. So we will go straight into the topic. The lesson is roughly 20 minutes. I don't want to speak more than 20 minutes because, you know, attention span, and it's counterproductive to talk more than that. And then we'll do questions around your homework, questions around the topic, and the hot seat. That's how the lessons will continue. And I have here your notes. I have your notes here and the homework, which I will email to you. Bye, Sylvia. Take care, sweetie. Oh. Yes, Katie.
About to say thank you so much for today. I shall say goodbye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Katie. Lovely to see
Go
you.
well.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Go
See you
well.
soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay. Anyone has any questions on anything discussed so far?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to comment on the vow that you read. That was very poignant. You know, it really helped me to further clarify, and what you spoke about prior to reading that, it really helped me, you know, clarify, you know, when I asked myself, well, why do I want to reclaim my writer's voice? Well, you know, it's because I want to be seen and I want to be heard and I want to connect, you know. You know, that helped me take that intent and deeper, you know.
Beautiful.
So, you know, I want to be understood.
Very important,
Yeah.
Carmen. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for sharing your feedback, because that is the core, you know, that's your anchor. You know, we talked about the anchor. That is your anchor. That's what you will be keep coming back to it when it gets tough, you know. Like you said, you want to be seen, heard, and connect with others. That's why you're right. That's beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's your declaration. That's in your
That's
declaration.
my, yes, definitely.
Beautiful. Amazing. I'm really glad. I'm glad to hear. Anyone
Thank you
else?
so much for the lesson.
Oh, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. And thank you for joining and being here. Yes,
I just wanted to say the synchronicity. I read Big Magic a couple years ago. I just got it from out of a library in New York and read it, and I liked it and I took it back. But I'm a part of an intentional artist group that meets every Tuesday, and this is the next book.
Oh, super.
Actually, the vow that you read, part of it was read last week rather.
Wow.
Because I think a lot of times artists in general get it really mixed up about what is success in their creativity, and putting a dollar sign to what they think it is, because I know here in America, definitely there's this, hunger for this thing called fame and fortune. And I think a lot of times that kills just being creative. So I love that vow that she took, that, yeah, I'm not doing this for you to support me. It's my job to support my creativity.
Yeah, beautifully
that.
said, Shante. Yeah, that's so true. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And I'm glad that this came back to you in one way or another. It's again a sign of your core message and a sign of your declaration and your vow. I mean, takes you back to why you want to write. Beautiful. Great. Okay, bye Shante, and thank you so much for coming. I'll send you the details and see you next time. Anyone else? Vera, all good? Are you okay? I know you were rushing
Crazy,
today,
crazy,
and
crazy day.
it's really
crazy.
good that you're here, though. That's
Yeah.
what matters. You made it, so I'm really, really proud of you that you made it. I know it was challenging, being a teacher and having papers to do and all sorts. Here is half term in 1 week, means 1 week before the school break. So I appreciate. I don't know if it's the same there, but it can get really busy for teachers. So
Well, it's well, I was reasons, but this week is I thought this week would be easier, but instead it turned out to be.
it turned out differently.
It's Monday and I feel like it's already Thursday or Friday.
Oh, I
But it's
understand.
okay. It's okay. We have the vacation coming up, so
Great.
2 weeks and we have that.
Good.
But I'm just writing down immediately the intent and all the ideas that come
Oh,
to
yes.
me. But
Yes. Do that. Write it down as you get any inspiration, any insight. Write it down quickly because they do go away. And like I said, I'll send you the recording. I'll send you the notes and the homework. And email me in the meantime. If you have any questions, email me. I will respond. And otherwise, I'll see you next Monday at the same time.
yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Love to
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.